Welcome to my little corner of the web. This is a synthesizer channel mainly around how to perform live without a laptop. So we're doing the DAWless thing, and today's video is all about how to rock and not get stuck when you're playing live. Let's simplify that workflow. You ready? That's today's video. Let's go and do it right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Mental Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe and hit that notification bell. Whenever I upload a new video, you'll be kept in the loop and you'll not miss out on anything. Now, stick around till the end of this video. We'll tell you all about our next event, which is the Kitchen Club versus Club Atelier, and we present Synthology. That's going to happen the 29th of March with Tough Junks, with Sarah Summers, with Saw, with DJ Silly, with Landschap Live, and with yours truly and Lo Kitchen in the house. That's in Amsterdam, so stay tuned. I'll tell you all about it towards the end of this video. Now, how did this video come about? Well, simplifying the workflow and the workforce is an ongoing thing when you're performing DAWlessly, when you're doing that live. You're always looking for a way to be as efficient as possible without really straining too many things. Now, it boils down to a few things. One, you have to focus on performing. Leave the production for the studio. I've seen so many live sets where people are actually tweaking and nerding around, which is cool. And if you're in a setting where that is cool, then that obviously is cool. But if you're doing bigger shows, or you're that person that stands there as a DJ kind of superstar DJ kind of vibe, you know, this DJ booth where everybody looks at you, it's very impersonal to be standing there tweaking on your gear and not really making the interaction. So when you want to perform live, you want to really make it work, you know, make sure that the stuff that can go wrong goes wrong in the studio. Think ahead and work that stuff beforehand. When you get there, perform. Do your performance and focus on performing, not so much on production. That should have been done in the studio. That's tip number one. Tip number two, if you're starting out and you want to do this very fast, you want to get results fast, please focus on where the tracks are coming from, but do that on only 2 machines, not more. In the beginning, I would not focus on more than 2 machines. In my case, I'm using a 1010 black box to do certain things, and I'm using the Octatrack to do other things. Of course, I've got my Retro Kids 008 MIDI device to record a lot of stuff on as well, which is absolutely awesome and definitely is useful, but that's more of the advanced stuff. When you start out and you want to make a convincing performance, focus on no other than 2 boxes where the music is coming from. You know, I'm not talking about effects and stuff like that. We're mainly talking about building up the song. Include a failsafe. Make sure that if one of those 2 boxes breaks down, the other one can really back it up, so that there's no awkward silences that can occur. When you played vinyl back in the days, when the needle went, it went for the label in the middle. That was that. There's no problem. When a CDJ goes into an emergency loop, it's pretty much the same thing. You can't help it. So there are times where you perform where stuff is going to go really, really wrong. But if you feel that there's an error starting, or you make a mistake, or you see that you have to restart something, make sure that you can restart one of the machines without affecting another one. So a MIDI chain that goes from here to a zoo is probably not the best thing to do. Make sure you got ample different MIDI connections that work. Trick that I use is the multi-clock, and that is easy. You just turn stuff off and turn stuff on, and then it's easy. If something breaks down or fails or whatever, that is your failsafe. Find your own failsafe. Make sure that whatever you do, the show must go on and can go on, right? Another thing that a lot of people don't really think about is mixing their levels. Now, mix your levels ahead of time. Do it in the studio, do it on your headphone that you trust, do it on speakers that you trust, keep it on the same volume and level everything out. level it out so that it works. When you know it sounds absolutely amazing, you really mixed it or leveled it out, right? So it shouldn't come as a surprise when you get to the venue. Stuff might sound different, but don't tweak it there. You know it's going to work. You know that you set your balance according to the standard. Then leave it there. In order to make sure that you're not going to screw it up for the next show, save that performance in 2 different spots. So the one that you save, or maybe on your Octatrack or whatever, save it there, but save and then make all the settings. Don't perform with it yet. Save the settings, move over to a new template where you've got the same stuff going, and then you can alter stuff, because you will see that certain venues where you're not really accustomed to the sound, or the other way around, where you get a little bit more accustomed to the sound when you're performing, you have to adjust certain things. Your kick might be louder, your bass lines might be softer, and then when you get back to the studio, you screw up the complete balance of your performance. Then it's cool to just go back to the one that you saved already, to backtrack what you did, to find out whether what you did was right or how you can improve it. That's the way I learned to really set my levels straight in the club, because believe me, when you're sitting, this is a stupid thing that I recently found out. I found out during COVID. You're sitting in the studio and you're facing your speakers. When you're performing, you're standing behind the speakers. It's a completely different sound. It's a completely different experience of what sound does, and it takes a while to get used to how does this bass drum sound when I'm only hearing 60% of it, right? Because it's blasting forward. Yes, there are monitors, but the monitors really don't represent what the people on the floor are hearing, and what the people on the floor are hearing and the monitors both don't represent what you hear on studio monitors when you're in your studio. So try to make a balance between the two. So focus on that, get it done, get it to a level, because even though the club sound system is going to exaggerate whatever it is that you're performing, ballpark is if you've got like 2-3 dBs up your bass drum up from the rest, it should be sweet, really, and then it's really, the sound engineer really needs to screw stuff up in order for you to sound like an idiot, so trust that. Structure your workflow is another one. You have to structure the way you work. Prioritize. What are you going to do first? I like to work on drums first. I work on my drums because I think those are the biggest frequencies I need to get out of the way. Once I've got them done, then I will just stick a bass line on it. And what I've done today is slightly different, because the bass line now is already something that I have performed ahead of time. Usually I would use one of my big ass synthesizers and flaunt them, flex the muscle. But I can also think of a way where you really would like to be safe. For instance, I am helping out Susan Wright at the minute, as she's been asked to do a 2-hour live set. She's not done one before. She is confident that she can do it, so we're now at the process that she knows the MPC. She's going to get a mini-tar bass. She's going to get more stuff, and she's absolutely awesome on the Minilog XD, so she makes really cool sounds on that synthesizer. But she's also thinking, okay, how do I need to just make sure that everything works, right? So I told her, structure the workflow, focus on things first and add stuff to it, and make sure that whatever you have already is already rocking, right? It should be cool. Make something really cool that is safe for yourself, that gives you confidence, and then as you perform more and as you get a little bit more experienced, then start to add stuff to it. But don't start running out of the saloon guns blazing with every piece of equipment you can borrow, steal, buy, or whatever, because that's not going to work. And again, focus on performing. If you're there fiddling about trying to find out what your equipment does, that's probably not the best impression you're going to leave with your crowd. And speaking of the crowd, think of your audience as if it was you. How would you like to receive music when you're on a dance floor? That's what you need to focus on. How are you going to do that? This is one thing that you really need to also think about. So I did think that that's very important. Now, with all these tips, I'm going to put it into practice. I'm going to show you this workflow that I have with only 2 boxes this week too. And let's see if we can make that work. Yeah, I'll go briefly over how the setup works, and I'll show you some of the new music that I've been making for my album. So I'm absolutely excited. Are you ready? You curious? You should be. Let's go. Okay, so here we are at this setup. So you see I've got a mini-tar I've got it connected, but I'm just really would like to simplify what it is that I'm doing. Really, okay? And we're going to really simplify what it is that I am doing. Now, what I've done, I've got drums sitting on the octatrack, right? So track 7 is going to be my music. It's going to be my bass line. So I'm not using the sub 37 at the moment. I am not using the AS1. I'm not using the Minotaur. I'm really not using the synths, except for I'm using this one. Let's put a little bit later. I'm trying to just like really hit it as soft as I can, because since my microphone is here, this is very clicky. It's a very clicky keyboard, so I don't want to make too much noise. Now, what I have done is, let me just play it from my little remote right here. So I'm going to play the track. Yeah, right arm. So got some really groovy percussive loops that I wanted to really like implement on the first track. So this is the first track that I have. You know, I can really start off like this. Let's even take out some more drums. So yeah, take out some drums. I will ease myself into something that I know is safe. So this is cool, but it will get boring after a while. But this in combination with something that acts as a pad is really, really amazing. Now, the 1010 black box, I'm using 2 outputs. One output with the rave sound that I've got, or with the themes or whatever, or the big lead sounds, is going through the Acid Box 3, and the other stuff is not going to the Acid Box 3. So I'm trying to avoid sticking drums on here as well. The drums are all coming from the octatrack. Now, the first thing that I want to do is add something of an ambience. I have used it on last week's video, but we've evolved. There's a lot of stuff that's happening, and I will take you into a few things that I've been talking about over the last few videos. Transitioning, song structure. Today, it's all about like how can you make a convincing performance. Now, I've got 4 cells, 1, 2, 3, 4. This MIDI fighter here is taking care of those 4 songs. So this is one song. This is one song. This is one song. This is one song. Here, 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 and here. So on one page, on any given performance here, pattern set, I have got 4 tracks going. The good thing of the 1010 Music Black Box is if I was to go to a different performance, say I will load this in, obviously my sound will stop, but now I'm on a different performance, but it keeps running in time, so that's cool. So what I'm going to do is go back to the first pattern set I have. I've copied this over. I still need to create more sounds. So how I'm doing this is I'm going to sit behind my DAW. I will create certain sounds, and those sounds I will transfer respectively to the octatrack for drums, or here to the 1010 black box for sound. Now, obviously, this is going to be a cool, smooth way of transitioning into certain things. Let's add a few drums and let's see how we get about, right? I'll explain as we go. Cool. Got a hat here. I'm on 130 BPM, so I'm a little bit faster. Cool. Now, add a bass drum. You can clearly see it blinking right here. I'm overdriving the small Soundtracks desk here, but I don't care, you know? Living on the edge. So it's cool. Making sure that this is pitched. Not too lazy on the portamento. Filter down. Cool. A little more delay. More delay. Nice. Cool. So now that I've got this thing going, I can easily think like, okay, what is my next move? Now I've got a few things lined up on my octave track on track 5, which is on this first bank. It's bank A, pattern 2 at the moment. I can also go to pattern 1. I've changed the bass line that is sitting on track 7. I've changed it to do different things on pattern 1 than on pattern 2, which makes sense once we progress to the next track. Now, cool. Let's slowly start to introduce more space stuff. So I've tried to ease myself into this room, right? Thinking of, okay, when I'm on the dance floor, I want anticipation. I want sexiness. I want stuff to really metabolize in a different sort of like way, right? So yeah, that's how I'm looking at this. Really cool. Thinking, boom. So there's a sonar here. Let's take out all the drums that I have, take them out, and just listen to the sonar and solo here. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. On and off beat, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and so that's got a bit of a loop going. Everything on the same root, no. So we're staying here. Cool. Okay. Kick in. Now, bring the kick in again. Bam, 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 bam. Nice. Kick is on 1 always. Also on track 1 here, so I'll keep it organized, right? Now I'm going to introduce a sound that I have when I'm lowering the filter. So you got this. Loving it. So I'm toying with synth sounds that I know for a fact I can't play live. So I've already made that sample. So it's coming here. Build up tension, as you can hear. And I'm trying to wait for the crossover point for this sound to really embed itself within the pad that I have right here. Really build it up. Taking out the pads here. Now what you probably didn't hear is I turned off the pads here, making room for the chord scheme that is working. So now I'm already moving on something different. It's cool. Still got some leverage here, a little bit of room for the sound here. Time to introduce that bass line, right? Woo! Nice one. You hear how this sonar thing is constantly giving a little bit of an extra? Going to lower it in the mix, turn this down. Now focus on my bass line here. Cool. And since I've got the bass line here, the pads here, different things, a lead here, that's one thing that I think, okay, I would like to have a melody in there because everything you hear is accompanying music. You need a lead guitarist, a lead saxophonist, a vocalist, or a violinist. In this case, I've got this, taking out a kick in this. Nice. So this is something you will remember the next day when you wake up, when you're coming down from your blissed out experience. So the trick now, when I want to transition to another track, I'm already thinking of, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to progress? What am I going to do here? Cool. Taking out the lead. These three. Also putting up a little bit of resonance, because now when the filter is going to come down, you're going to hear a little bit more grit. Switch to the next pads here. Nice. You see how you blanket it out? This is the track. I could have easily recorded this in and yeah, chop the beginning, chop the end, and the track is working, right? Now the thing to do is to take out the music, as I suspect the next track is going to be a completely different key. So take out the bass line first, take out the music. Looking at the effect on the master, because it was a little bit over the top, I think. Now obviously conflicting chords will not work with long sustained notes. The sonar probably not so much of a problem, so taking this out, going in. Cool. Yeah. Not just liking this. Taking out the drums, going for the transition. Now the kick drum is going to be the same, so now I'm going to go to bank 2, pattern 1, which is going to switch right here. 1, 2, 3, and you didn't hear it, but it's already switched, which means that I've got different drums here, right? Now I'm going to just take out that sonar in a second. First, let's enter a new bass line in, like very bouncy, you know what I'm saying? Now, again, it's the same thing. I've got one steady thingy that runs, a bass line sitting here on track 7, as you can hear, which means track 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are drums, like so. Nice one. Now I've got a vocal here that I am going to briefly play, but obviously I don't want to play it completely, as I don't want to get any copyright strikes. Well, that's what I would introduce, taking out the kick and going for it. You understand what's happening, right? So everybody sings along, really cool. Now all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go for that rave sound. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Taking out the bass line. Another theme, right? I'm trying to make it very dramatic. I'm gonna go for pattern 2, as that is going to play along with what I got right here, bass line in. As we go. Nice. I can do that same trick. Back to pattern 1. Nice. Very bouncy. Now, open up next pattern, 1, 2, 3, with a different bass line. Yeah, I'm liking it. I like the fact that it's very bouncy, very happy. Open this thing up again. And back in. I don't think it needs to be more complicated than this, really, right? Cool. Taking stuff out back here. Cool. Kick out. 1, 2, 3. Take the rest of the music out, just the bass line. Same trick. Now I'm going to, since nothing's playing on the black box, I could easily go to a different thing now. Take out the on to the next track, right? Bank 3, 1. Nice one. That one might be a little bit on the loud side, but come on. You're ready to rock, right? Bass line. 1, 2, 3, go. And up, we're in the next track. A little bit of an effect here. Long siren. Cool. Now we're going to just slowly introduce more stuff. Break it down. There we go. Again. Now let's go for the break that I intended to do. 7 needs to go on. This goes something like. Give it another pass. It's also off at this end. It's off. you build it up. Something simple. On to the next one. And keep the energy going, keep it high. Now, I've got a steady rave sound going. I would like to add a little bit more variation. So the bass line, obviously, which is start of ostinato, is gonna go to more and down. And up, and up, and down. I guess that's that. What can I tell you? Hey, do you like the shirt that I have? You can find it in the link that is going to either pop up somewhere on the screen. Let's do it here, or here, or here, or here. Wow. You can get it in my fourth wall shop. And if you like to support this channel, you can by enrolling in the channel memberships, and that's another thing which I think is one of the coolest things that has happened on this channel, and that is the patronage that I started a while ago. And Patreon's got a bridge into Discord, and on the Discord channels is where we really interact. The community that's vastly growing with like-minded synth people. We all talk about, you know, how to get from A to B, how to perform, what box to buy, what not to buy, workflow stuff, packaging stuff, performance stuff. How do you compose yourself in front of people if you have to perform, what to do, what not to do. It's cool to just talk to peers, really. It's cool to talk to like-minded people, and I'm proud to say that my community, my little neck of the woods here on the internet, is vastly growing. It's a respectful place, and that you can find through patreon.com/NLKitchen. All right, go check it out. You're more than welcome. And in that sense, I'd like to welcome Shield Music as a patron for this week. Thanks for joining up. Now, I've known him, Shield Music, which is Ludovic, for quite some time now, as we spoke online. And the coolest thing is that his girlfriend managed to set him up in a positive sense. So he came to my studio, but he didn't know he was coming. She contacted me months ago, I think it was December, saying, Ludovic, Shield Music, he would like to meet you in person. Is there a possibility that can be done? Because we're going to be in Holland anyway. So yeah, let's do it. Now, yeah, obviously he started to contact me as the date got closer on all platforms. I saw him on Instagram, I saw him on Soundcloud, I saw him on YouTube. I was like, I can't dodge him anymore. I said, sorry, I'm busy, I can't meet you. Obviously, he was going to be taken to the studio, so that was a really cool thing. As I do believe that it's cool that you meet up, and that's how we do the dance carousel. This week I will not place it. Go watch other videos where I've just invoked the dance carousel. That's a means of us community people to work together and start making music together. In a sense, it's cool. Also, and that's a way for you to get featured on my YouTube channel as well. Might you be interested in that? Now, so welcome Ludovic, Shield Music. Thank you for joining up, and you should do too. Now, I think that concludes our broadcast day. Let me know in the comment section how you work it. Let me know in the comment section if you like this sexy shirt that I got with this tracker business on there. Yeah, okay, thank you for watching. Keep watching this space. I'm Kitchen signing off. I'll catch you next week on another video.